Through the Eyes of a Golf Ball by Jake Daniel. Every day there are things we take for granted. Have we ever thought what it would be like from their perspective? Through the eyes of a golf ball, it goes a little something like this. Every single day I do the exact same thing. All I do is sit in a box with two other golf balls, Albert and Gerald. We talk about stuff like the day someone will buy us and what we think the world really looks like. But one day, everything we had talked about came true. Ding! I heard the bell go off that signaled someone coming through the door. He walked over and peered down at all the golf balls. I felt a little movement, and the next thing I knew, he had picked me and my friends up and was taking us to the register. We kept bouncing and turning in the box until finally the top opened. He pulled each one of us out one by one and examined each of us. Then he put us down and our life journey began. He took us to this little white vehicle that Albert told me was called a golf cart. We were put into a cup holder and then the golf cart started to move. This day couldn't get any better, I thought to myself. I didn't even know what people like me are used for, but in a few minutes I was going to find out. My blood got as hot as a pot of boiling water. The man picked me up and put Gerald in his pocket. He put me on something that Gerald said was a tee and started swinging this long stick with a giant metal part on the bottom. I was told it was called a golf club. He stepped up closer to me and pulled it back as if he was going to hit me. Then I realized that that was exactly what he was going to do. I tried to move, but since I have no legs, I couldn't. I closed my eyes and took it like a man. Slam! I went flying through the air. With a sudden thud, I slammed into the grass and made a giant dent in the ground. I'm alive, I thought. Thank goodness that's over. Then I saw a white vehicle come into sight. It was the golf cart, and the man got out and this time pulled out a different-looking golf club. Again, he pulled back and hit me as hard as he could. Why do you hate me, I thought. But then a new feeling came across me. It was joy. Flying through the air was actually kind of fun. Maybe this is what I was meant to do. Whee! I screamed. Then I found myself back on the ground. The same routine happened again, but this time I hit a much harder ground. It was dark black instead of green. Giant vehicles kept driving by, acting like they were going to hit me. What happened? I thought. I looked back and saw that I had flown right over the fence that separated the course from the street. Finally, I came to a stop on the side of the road right next to a giant building. The sign said Santa Barbara Middle School. A loud bell rung out, and the next thing I knew, people were rushing out of the building. One person stopped and picked me up. He stared at me for a while and then put me in his pocket. I sat in deep darkness for about 15 minutes, and then I was taken out of his pocket. I looked around and found that I was in the same room I was in when the first man bought me. I knew I was about to get smacked around once again. He pulled out a golf club, much like the one the first man had, and hit me as hard as he could. The pleasure of the wind slamming against me was fantastic. This time when I landed, a huge puff of sand flew up around me. This must be my bed for the night, I thought. I closed my eyes and fell asleep right away because of the exhausting day I had just experienced. I awoke instantly and found myself whizzing through the wind. What a rude awakening, I mumbled. I landed on an area of grass that was much shorter than the one I landed on earlier. I rolled a little ways and dropped right into a little hole in the ground. Oh no, I'm trapped, I thought. The boy ran up to me with the biggest grin on his face and pulled me out of the hole. Did I do something that made him happy? He put me into a pocket in his golf bag with a bunch of other golf balls, and next to a baseball and a football when he got home. The football's name was Greg, and he told me that the boy scored his first touchdown with him. The baseball's name was James, and he said the boy hit his first home run with him. Well then what's so special about me? I asked. From the next room I could hear the boy say, Hey Mom, I got my very first birdie today with this awesome new golf ball I found outside school. I knew the boy was talking about me.